Boom shakalaka, what is going on everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love and happy Monday morning, nice and early for you. Today's video, we are going to talk about a Bitcoin price breakout imminent. Is it going to go to the moon or is it going to crash? We'll take a look at that as well as some news that's going on right after a word from our sponsor. That's right, guys. Monarch Wallet holds over 1,800 cryptocurrencies, I think 1,900 at the current time. Includes fiat pairs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. You can buy and sell Bitcoin using that wallet. You can even borrow, make money holding your cryptos on that wallet. So you can check it out on the App Store, iOS and Android. Now, getting into things today, coin market cap $132 billion, down about $1 billion from the weekend. Bitcoin dominance 51.7%, pretty much where it has been. Now, in the top 10 cryptocurrencies, the only gainer today, Stellar up 10%, the rest all down. But overall, the top 100, Project Pay, Maximind Coin, Cubitica, all up between 11 and 14%. The big losers for today, Cash, Digitex Futures, and Kyber. I just did an interview with the founder of Digitex Futures the other day. Pretty interesting, so if you haven't seen that, make sure you check out that video. Now, on to what all you guys are watching for. This is what we're taking a look at. I don't know if you guys can see this just from taking a look at it, but there is a narrowing channel that Bitcoin is sitting in. Okay, it's both by these purple lines and the yellow lines. So I call these the Lakers lines just because purple and yellow. I just made that up, patented, or you could call them the Magic lines because Magic Johnson played for them. We'll call those the Magic lines. So Bitcoin is sitting right between the Magic Lakers lines. And what are these lines? Well, the purple lines, these are the trend lines for what has been happening with Bitcoin. If you see this top purple line, I mean, this is a descending trend that Bitcoin has been in since about February of last year. So over a year, this ascending trend line, all right, this is what Bitcoin has been in since about November, all right, finding the bottom. Those two are converging. We're getting towards the tip. Just the tip, that's right, because when there is a tip, guess what? We have a price breakout up or down. We don't exactly know which way, but I'll give a couple theories as to which is which. Now, aside from the purple lines, there's also the yellow lines right here. Now, these yellow lines, these are the 200-week on the bottom and the 20-week on the top moving averages. And as you can see, they are providing a bit of support and resistance. Now, this 200-week moving average on the bottom, Bitcoin has never broken that. Never on a weekly broken that. So that is kind of like a very firm bottom. That would be like betting, as Jake Canfield put it, betting that the Patriots would lose the Super Bowl. Great example, but yeah, it would be betting against a team that's probably going to win. The 20-week moving average on top, as you can see, has been a bit of resistance up there, and guess what? We're coming up to it again. So we have this narrowing channel that Bitcoin is coming into, and once we get there, there's going to be a breakout up or down. Now, fundamentally, there's been a lot of great news about Bitcoin. I mean, we have adoption across the board. We have ETPs, ETFs. We have Lightning Network. All types of really great stuff. We have all types of investors, companies, everything talking about Bitcoin, getting involved in Bitcoin, number of Bitcoin transactions going up, number of Bitcoin wallet holders going up. So all types of great news fundamentally for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, including like Colorado passing a cryptocurrency securities tax act just the other day. So we're seeing more and more adoption across the board. However, technically, not a technical analyst, not a professional by any means, but an amateur by all means, without a doubt. Totally amateur. So yeah, technically, it looks like we may see a drop to the lower side, at least a little bit. So I'll give you the reasons why. Well, first off, as you can see here, I'm not sure if you can see it, these little white lines. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 is an Elliott wave pattern that we've been in since the top going to the bottom. We're in wave 4 right now. Guess what? There's 5 waves. So potential lower wave coming down, crashing through there. That's reason number 1 for the price going down. Reason number 2 for the price going down. If you can see here, I know it's close, But on the MACD, guess what? Still holding a stable coin. It got really close over the weekend, and actually I was messaged to say, you know, should we cross or not, and obviously not financial advice, but I just say what I'm doing because it's my opinion, and opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. That's right, I do. And yeah, so just holding a stable coin. So the MACD is saying, yes, could potentially keep going down. But what else is there? Well, I'll tell you what else once I figure out how to use this thing. All right, what else is these arrows? You see these arrows here, all right? One of these things is not like the other. What do you see following every single arrow? You see the price of Bitcoin coming down, okay? Arrow price coming down, arrow price coming down, arrow price coming down, arrow price coming down. Well, then you're asking, why did you put those arrows there? Just because the price was coming down? Well, no, actually, those arrows are when these Bitcoin USD shorts hit the bottom. So every one of these arrows here, I put a corresponding arrow on that day on this chart. And so when there's a low in Bitcoin shorts, guess what? Following that causes a drop in Bitcoin price. So it just happened again. All right, it just happened again about the beginning of March. And guess what? The beginning of March, we have price coming down. So all of those things pointing to price dropping in Bitcoin. But how far is it going to drop? We're coming up to that brick wall, that 200-week moving average. Potentially, that brick, impossible to break wall might cause the price to move back up. However, if we break through that to the bottom, that's going to be pretty bad. So looking up or down, I would say price is going to come down a little bit, but I'm very interested to see what's going to happen when we meet that 200-week moving average. A couple other things that I saw in the market, just because I like sentiment and that type of thing. One, we have this fear and greed index. Now, this is not dealing with cryptocurrencies, this is dealing with the overall markets, all traditional investments as well. But as you can see, right now we're 55, which is a bit neutral, but the previous close 59, which is greed. A week ago, 72, which is greed, like right around there, like that's close to 3/4 greedy. And then a month ago, 65. So we've been greedy very recently. And a great investor, Warren Buffett, hates Bitcoin, but he said, be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. So right now, everybody's greedy. Another indication that potentially we might want to be a little bit fearful when it comes to price. And lastly, I just saw this on Alessio Rastani's video. The video is called One Chart Calls BS on the Market's Rally. And the source is Jason Gepfert, the Dumb versus Smart Money Index. Well, guess what? With the recent rally in the S&P 500, dumb money is flooding into it. Smart money, not so much. And even though Bitcoin is an uncorrelated asset, meaning that it doesn't follow what happens with any other asset classes, could this potentially be a sucker's rally that we're seeing in Bitcoin before the price drops again? It would definitely, with the Elliott wave theory, would definitely support that. So I would just say be hesitant. I like to do MACD trading. That's what I do. Lastly, last little piece, just bringing it back to Bitcoin. Every time I want to know what the rich people are doing in Bitcoin, I look at the Bitcoin rich list. So this is the list of the top Bitcoin addresses, and you can just find this by typing Bitcoin rich list in Google. But you can see when they last bought Bitcoin. So you scroll through the first ones because these are like the Bittrex and Binance wallets. They're cold wallets. But if you scroll through, you get down a bit lower, you see the last time they bought was like January, February, January, February. So it doesn't appear right now. Here's one in March, okay, March 1st. But it doesn't appear right now like a lot of the Bitcoin richest are buying Bitcoin right now. Again, another thing that might say potentially be a little bit fearful. But not financial advice, not telling you what to do. This is just me putting together stuff for you. So there is good news. I mentioned fundamentally a lot of great news in Bitcoin. So for instance, investment firm Invesco launches blockchain ETF on London Stock Exchange. So that actually today launched. And basically this ETF is going to be targeting 48 companies involved with blockchain technology. Those companies include Apple, Intel, Advanced Micro Devices, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, and Bitcoin Futures CME Group. So that's great. A lot of big companies in an ETF. A lot more people who invest in traditional things are getting exposed to blockchain technology, potentially to cryptocurrencies as well. This might be the gateway drug. Also in the news, this is a big story today. Bitcoin price analysis. Is Venezuela's unplugging affecting prices? So just recently, over the past couple days, on March 9th, Venezuela had a national power outage, which basically showed that 96% of the country was offline. Now, I've always said, it's impossible to bring down Bitcoin unless you bring down the internet, and apparently Venezuela has brought down the internet. Now, bringing down the internet, what they have done is they have made it to where it's hard to do Bitcoin transactions. Now, I think that was Friday, there have been an increase in the number of people online. 20% are now online. But if you're not able to use the internet, how can you actually transact Bitcoin? And I've got the answer for you too. I wouldn't ask a question if I didn't have the answer, right? That would just be silly. Turns out, Bitcoin coders send the first Bitcoin Lightning payments over radio waves. So there's always been talk about sending Bitcoin over radio, over satellite, over different types of medium, using SMS, things like that, than just using the internet. Well, it turns out some Bitcoin Lightning Network developers have done that. Who was it? Elaine Wu, but no, Rafaldo Novak, I think. Basically, what they did was they attempted a Lightning Network transaction over JS8, which is a type of radio call. And afterwards, Elaine Wu tweeted, Bitcoin is making ham radio cool again. So check this out. They sent a Bitcoin Lightning Network transaction all the way across the United States using ham radio. And guess what? Ham radio can actually go across the world. So it turns out we don't need internet anymore to send Bitcoin transactions. Really great stuff. It shows everything going on there. The idea of sending Bitcoin across radio waves was actually something that was brought forth by Nick Szabo, so the guy who invented the smart contracts. But this is all great news, and this is absolutely awesome considering what's happening in Venezuela. However, the one thing that I will say is the last paragraph of this is not as awesome. It says, talking about Bitcoin's Lightning Network payment over the radio, Wu said it was fun demo, but obviously unrealistic because we coordinated everything online before sending the radio signals. So that's somewhat unfortunate. However, I think that this is potentially, now that people see it can be done, potentially they're going to start looking for ways to do it without using the internet. If you guys remember when that dude ran the 4-minute mile, people thought it was impossible until somebody did it. I think it was Roger Bannister or something like that. People thought it was humanly impossible, then it was done. Well, now we show it's possible to send Bitcoin transactions without the internet. Now it'll just get done better. Also in the news, the founder of Ripple-backed startups pushes for mass XRP adoption at 3.3 million online stores. So Ripple, always one who's great at marketing, always in the news. They have a bounty for developers to find a way to integrate XRP payments with WooCommerce. Now, WooCommerce is a type of commerce thing that's used in about a third of all websites. This could potentially be huge for Ripple. Potentially huge, allowing XRP to be accepted at 3.3 million online stores. Now, you would think for something this huge, potentially groundbreaking to where people could pay with Ripple at pretty much a third of all stores online, you would think they would incentivize people quite a bit to go ahead and develop this. But as of right now, so far the bounty has only reached about 3,000 Ripple, which is worth about $1,000. So, for the potential increase in market cap of this would be something that you would think maybe they would incentivize people a bit more. Maybe they would give them a little bit more money. But I don't know. Maybe that's how Ripple works. Maybe they're just being cheap. Maybe they just wanted to get into the news. Who potentially knows? But that is something that could potentially be huge for Ripple. Also, they're in the news today because Swiss Stock Exchange 6 is reportedly listing an XRP Exchange traded product. Now, Ripple does a great job marketing. There's also, 6 is also planned to launch 4 more ETPs for Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar, and EOS, but you just don't see articles about them because they're not doing the marketing as well as Ripple. Also in the news today, I came across this article. So this is a brand new article about what is Tron. I just saw that Blocked has these good guides for like what is Dogecoin, Ripple, Stellar Lumens, Tron. So if you want to find out more, it is a very in-depth article about what is Tron because other than being great at marketing, a lot of people don't know what Tron is, myself included. So reading through this article gave me a little bit more insight as to what Tron is, where it's going, other than just a massive marketing machine. And the last article for today is a very interesting article, definitely one for anybody who has some Ethereum or who believes in Ethereum. Turns out Ethereum has more than twice as many core devs per month as Bitcoin and every other cryptocurrency. So right now, Ethereum has 99 monthly developers on average, whereas Bitcoin only has 47 developers per month. And the other platforms that get a lot of accolades like EOS, Tron, and Cardano only have a little over 25 monthly core developers. But this isn't all. Okay. The report also points out that many projects who are being abandoned by developers are forks of high network value coins. For instance, Dogecoin hasn't had developers for months, while Litecoin developer base has fallen from 40 developers per month to just over 3 in the last year. Also, Bitcoin forks like Bitcoin Diamond and Bitcoin Gold have less than contributions from less than 5 developers. So, I mean, really, Ethereum is blowing the pants off of pretty much every other cryptocurrency out there in terms of development. That's always good to see, always moving forward. So that's pretty much all the news for today. Guys, I know probably, well, at least when I got started in cryptocurrencies, it was good to have a step-by-step guide how to buy cryptos, how to buy Bitcoin, things like that. Well, when I got into trading on a regular basis, it was very helpful to have a step-by-step method for getting into trading on the regular, as well as great groups led by one of the top traders on TradingView, who's regularly a top trader on TradingView, Jacob Canfield. So I started using Signal Profits about 6 months ago, and I've been having a very good time doing it, getting returns like 47% in 5 days, 23% in a couple of weeks, but a lot of pretty big gains for all of these things, between 10, 20%. Now, not all of them, all the signals are gainers, but a lot of them are. And no, this isn't for everyone. You need to trade with at least $3,000 in order to be able to make a profit. Because it's not a free course. It's not a free signals group. So it does cost money in order to be able in it. But if it is something you're interested in doing, getting more involved in trading and actually doing it profitably, safely, make sure you check out the link down in the description. That is for Signal Profits. And lastly, guys, check out the Monarch wallet, okay, at the iOS store and also the Android store. So that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Have a great week. All right. Peace.